I look a mess. We're going on a little road trip today for me to get the treatment for my migraines, which I had before. I had, funnily enough, I had Botox, but I didn't have it for migraines. I had it for wrinkles, but it stopped all my headaches. So I'm going back. I'll talk to you more about it later, but let's get on with the day. Hello, me again. Sorry, look, my eyebrows. I draw on most of my eyebrows because I have patchy brows. So yeah, sorry about that. So I thought I'd fill you guys in a little bit on like why I came about having Botox and how I feel about it continuing and fillers and stuff like that. If that's all right. Is that all right? I don't know. Is it? Oh yeah, do you like my peacock? Isn't he beautiful? So I have had loads of wrinkles for many years because I carry a lot of tension in my forehead. So I frown a lot. I just carry a lot of expression in my face, which is not a bad thing. But it meant that I got lines a lot earlier. I also have an ongoing vitamin D deficiency. So I kind of like my skin and hair and nails are affected by that as well. So a friend of mine who's a qualified nurse got into aesthetics. Her name's Emma. She's here in Swindon at Elegance Aesthetics. And I spoke to her and she did my first Botox treatment and the doctor assessed my face and all that. And I had it done purely for vanity, right? Because I see my face online. I don't like it. My makeup was sitting in the lines and it was making me miserable. Yes, there is a pressure, especially as I'm nearly 38, there is a pressure to look a bit younger. I had a side effect of the Botox that I wasn't expecting. Now, I have been a headache sufferer all my life. To the point where I would always have like 2 boxes of aspirin in the house and I could take up to 2,700 milligrams in a day if I had a migraine. That's the maximum dose, but it wrecks your stomach. And I get some sort of headache almost every day. And I get huge migraines where the vision's blurred and I'm sick and all that sort of thing. And I didn't realise until after I'd had it done that it was also a treatment for migraines. And I have had 4 months of no headaches, like not one migraine, not one. I didn't even have any aspirin in the house, nothing at all. So that's how well it was working for me. And then I knew I was due, I knew it was wearing off because I can feel, I'm still pushing against it, but I can feel it's worn off. And I get this dull ache here like all the time because I have quite a stressful life, you know. I've got lots of children, like far too many. I've got 4 children. 3 of my children have special needs and they have very up and down lives. And we as parents carry that stress, don't we? That's just the way we are. So I've got a really itchy nose. Oh my God. I've been stroking the cat. I carry my stress here. I frown. Sometimes I'll find myself just like massaging the centre of my forehead or here just to relieve that pain. And all of a sudden last week, I literally collapsed with a huge migraine. Hi, Milo. I was throwing up. I was really ill. And since then, the slightest thing can trigger them again. And I've got this constant, just dull, heavy feeling that I don't like, which is tension. So I won a competition on Instagram and I actually won some cheek fillers and happy, really excited. And I was talking to the lady who does it. I think she's a qualified midwife. And I was talking to her about my migraines and stuff. And she said, well, look, you're coming to me anyway. Do you want to have your Botox done? Obviously paid for. Do you want to have your Botox done? Yes, because my lovely lady is on holiday and I'm desperate to get it done. Otherwise I'd have to wait until like middle of November and that's 2 weeks of teaching that I might have to miss if I get a migraine. So I said, yes, please, that'd be great. And so I'm getting that done today and I can't wait. I'm just so excited because although I'm going to feel more confident, I'm actually going to feel healthier. And that is a bigger thing for me now. Now I felt that poof of the pain coming back and how bad it was. I just cannot wait to get it done. So I've blabbed enough. Let's get on to the journey. I'll get myself sorted and we'll get in the car, okay? Okay, so I've switched to voiceover mode because all you will hear otherwise is me and Rhian nattering and chatting about random stuff like how heavy the couch was to get up the stairs. And so she has this beautiful salon at her home. It's absolutely gorgeous. And yes, my boobs look massive in that jumper. So now she's taking photographs, 2 lots of photographs. Some are for the profile that goes on their records, so for insurance and legal purposes. So it's like a medical record of my before and after photographs. And then she'll do more for social media, so they're 2 separate things. Obviously Mr. B was with me, he had full permission to film and all that good stuff. So they do, this is for the Botox, so she does photographs of me frowning, raising my eyebrows, smiling, and here she's using she's already cleaned my skin with special cleaning solution so that it's ready for the procedure. And now she's going over with it's like a beauty pencil, like a white one, and she uses that to mark where the little injections are going to go. So the whole time she's making me pull faces so she can see what muscles are moving in what direction and how she can counteract that. So yes, I'm looking constipated and Rhian is looking glamorous. But that's how it works. So this is all just part of the consultation kind of side of things, I guess, preparing me. The whole time she's explaining what she's doing. She's very thorough. She's asking me what result I want, that kind of thing. And before we did all this, we actually had a sit-down consultation where she went through my medical history and I signed documents, you know, and all that stuff. So it's all above board. And now we're just going in and she is starting the injections. So it's the botulism toxin and it's injected just under the skin. So what you might see are tiny little raised bumps where the product sits under the skin and then it disperses. Within a few minutes, those bumps are pretty much gone. As you can see, so I look like some sort of alien creature. And she did lots and lots of tiny, as you can see, I'm not in any pain. I'm just laid there chilling out. She did lots of tiny little injection sites across all the muscular structures of the face that pull the eyebrows up and down and sideways and all that, so that it will eventually kind of prevent those wrinkles getting worse. And I found for me it does smooth them out a little bit as well, which is great. Again, the whole time they're very, very quick. Just pop, in you go, pop, in you go. And I'm just there. It looks like I'm frowning, but I'm not. You'll see actually here, you can probably see it a little bit better, but it makes like little bobbles on the skin. So you watch it go up, whoop, like that. It's quite funny to watch, but you can't really feel that. Sometimes you don't feel anything. It might feel like someone's touching you and that's that. Other times it might just be a tiny little like pinprick feeling and that's it. There's no anaesthetic. I didn't have any like anaesthetic on the area beforehand. But yeah, she's very good, very thorough. Obviously don't have this done by somebody who is not a medical professional. So either a doctor, trained nurse, trained dentist or dentist nurse. So here we've done the Botox and we're getting ready for fillers. So she's taking pictures of my face and I'm moaning about my back because I have big boobies and they're heavy. So she's taking pictures of my face, some for social media, some for the medical records. And we're discussing the fillers, what they look like, what it feels like. So I've never had fillers. Where they're going to go, and then she will feel the structure of my face, so where my cheekbones are and all the different bits and bobs of the structure of my face, as you can see here. And she's marking out, because my face is not symmetrical, so I guess she had to, at the same time as enhancing the cheekbones, she would be looking at my asymmetry and how she can make sure that's not worse, because obviously you don't want to make, if you're not symmetrical, you don't want that to become worse with the procedure. So they look at everything. They're thoroughly trained. She's Harley Street trained, as is my local nurse, Emma, who does the Botox and fillers locally. She's also medically trained and Harley Street trained, so they're the best of the best. And I wouldn't go to anyone less. I wouldn't mess about when it's your face. Your body, you know, something going into your body. So as you can see here, she's marking, checking the whole time. And then this is a slightly different looking syringe. It's a thicker gel substance that goes, and she's explaining here that where it goes in, it actually goes and sits on top of the bone. So it goes in deeper, but again, it doesn't feel like, it's just a tiny little pinprick of the needle going in. And although this is slightly slower because the gel's going in and sitting on top of that bone, it just it doesn't hurt. It just feels like a numbing or heavy sensation, not painful. If it was, I'd be straight off that bed and running down the road like a baby. So she'll do that three or four on each side, and then she'll massage it. So what she's doing here is massaging the gel into place, because it's quite a thick substance. She was explaining that it needs to sit correctly, so she'll rub it and check it, and then I just leave it. I don't touch it, I don't push it or anything like that. So yes, I look like I'm half asleep, don't I? I was meditating. It's what I do. Anything to do with needles or anything remotely uncomfortable, and I just go into my little Zen state with my lumpy forehead. Mr. B's doing some very good camera work. Again, if you guys have any questions about stuff like this, just ask. This is a bit of a journey I'm going on as well. But I've never felt so good to not have headaches, and that's what's led me down this path, so woohoo! So she's just explaining here how she's rubbing it and massaging it again into place, just pushing on that gel, keeping it all nice. And I'm just being really still and quiet, which is not like me, to be fair. And she'll just repeat exactly the same on the other side, but obviously she'll keep checking to make sure that it's being made symmetrical. So she doesn't want to create asymmetry, so she's making sure that as she goes, one side is matching the other side. So whatever it takes to make those two match. You can't, I guess, necessarily say you're going to use exactly the same amount on each side if somebody has one cheek already slightly puffier than the other. I don't know. That's just me guessing. But we're just having a little bit more there. And then she'll check it again, rubbing that smoothly, massaging it into place. I have not touched it, I've been so good. And then she'll look, see, again, assessing it, looking how it looks. Can it be changed? Does it need, altering? And then we're in, and we're going to do exactly the same on the other side. She was very, very thorough. I think the whole appointment probably took about 45 minutes, including the consultations. So I had 2 different consultations. I'm just laughing at Mr. B. I was telling him that while it was going in, I could hear the gel going in, because it's close to the bone and the vibrations, your body picks up the vibrations, you could kind of hear it, and it was really cool, and I was like, I can hear it. So I thought that was pretty amazing. It's all very clever stuff. There's lots of information online as well about things like this, but I think it's just nice to share an experience as it is. So she's just checking again, making sure both sides are even. And again, if I'm not like sponsored or anything like that, I won the fillers in a competition. There was no like, you will vlog this, you will film it. I asked if I was allowed to, so I can say what I want. And if it was crap, I'd say, but it's not. So she's just like adding a little bit more there, as you can see. And then after she checked that, she said, are you right? Yes, fine. Okay, thank you. Goodbye. And I'll catch up with you when I'm in the car. Hello, my loves. Right, I do apologise for the state of my face, but I have no makeup on and I have like pigmentation on my face. Everyone has pigmentation. I have funny pigmentation on my face. Just been to see Rhian and had cheek fillers and Botox in 3 areas. And yeah, it was great. Fillers is a new experience for me. I've never had that before. That's what I won in the competition, and I was very lucky. It was something that I'd looked at and thought that would be nice to have, but I never thought I'd treat myself to it. It was one of those things. And I can honestly say, I don't know what I expected. I think I expected this great big cannula in my face digging about or something like that, but that didn't happen. It's a different sensation to Botox. So Botox is like lots of little stingies, just tiny little stingies, like bing, 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 like that. Whereas the fillers is more, it's a numb sensation to me anyway. So none of it was painful as such, like none of it was like or anything like that at all. I find it quite a pleasant experience, but maybe I'm weird. I don't know. It's just not a painful thing. It's a tiny weeny little needle for all of it. I'm gonna have a little bit of a bruise there, look. Got a little lump there. But that's okay, that's normal. I'll speak to you guys a bit more about it when I get home though, because we're in the car at the moment. Hello loves. Right, it's now 8:30 at night. So I thought I'd check in with you guys. I'm starting to bruise. That is perfectly normal for me. Last time I had Botox, I ended up with like a black eye. I'm a bruisey person. So I've got like a bruise here. That's not too bad. But from the fillers, I've not had fillers before. I've got a bruise there and a bruise there, but that's fine. Can you see? Like, when I tilt my head, can you see that definition now? I did not have before. I mean, I know there's some swelling and it has to calm down and stuff, but like, I keep walking past reflective surfaces going, hey, oh, hello, because I feel uplifted, even though I've got no makeup on. And actually, the nurse showed me like the before and after side by side, and I'm like, oh God, it does. You look uplifted. You look fresh. I feel great. I've got no pain, nothing like that. No pain at all. To be honest, once it's done, like 10 minutes, you're like, okay then. Now, obviously for the migraine type, Botox type stuff, it starts to kick in about 3 days and takes about 2 weeks to hit maximum. Botox, you know, you've got that fillers, you've got that instant lift, like here, you see, but it's going to settle, it's going to calm down, bruising will go, it will heal, but I feel fantastic. And now I've had fillers, like I wouldn't have had them necessarily, not this year anyway, but I won them, so it was something I was looking at for next year. But now I've had them, I'm glad I did. And I didn't realise how just a little bit of cheek filler can wake you up a little bit. And I'm really grateful to Rhian. So, Milo, stop banging on the door. Milo's knocking on the door. You'll see my face now and again anyway as the, you know, things update. But I'm glad I took you with me. Hopefully it's a little inside view. If you've got any questions, then pop them in the description box. I'll do my absolute best to answer. And if I can't answer, then I will ask Rhian, and I'm sure she can answer. So yeah, thanks for catching up with me and my makeup-free face. And I will post a photograph of my healed face as soon as it's all healed, and I'll put some makeup on and I'll look all prettified. But for now, this is me and my naked face saying good night. Love you, bye.